So a couple days ago, I made a video about the Mandela Effect and Shazam and Sinbad, and it got me to thinking about Mandela effects in general, and I really don't know why there's such a mystery around them. People think there's a conspiracy or there's a cover up for something, but it's really quite simple. People view things through as simplistic a manner as possible. There's so much information out in the world that in order to function in the world, we narrow that information through a filter so that we can get around. Now, it makes sense to me that when a piece of information is not very strong, we either forget it and discard it or we make things up. And usually it's kind of with common sense. Like the first of them, thinking that Nelson Mandela had died. I mean, he had been in jail for forever. It was pretty harsh, so it makes sense that people thought, oh, he must have died. And then they find out, what? He's still alive? And the same thing happened with Billy Graham. He, I remember like not too long ago before he did die, somebody's like, oh, the late Billy Graham. And I'm like, he's still alive. Like, what? But the thing was, his wife had died maybe 10 or so years before him, but nobody knows who she is. So they just hear Graham and died, and because there's a gap in information, they fill that in and think, oh, it must have been Billy Graham. So the Mandela effect isn't such a huge mystery to me. It's simple. People need a narrow filter to function in the world, and when information comes, if it's weak information, they just discard it or modify it, and yeah, so mystery solved.